Hey guys, and welcome back. It's me again. I'm actually live streaming this for the first time. I just want to do some tests to make sure that it's actually going to function properly when the time comes. But yeah, found some time to do some casting when no one else is home, so I'm allowed to speak English without being called a heretic. Speaking of which, Procyon playing as the Galzian here. But anyway, before this game gets underway, I just wanted to announce some spicy announcements. First off, Homeworld 3, man. I don't know, if you haven't heard about it, you're living under a rock or something. But it's a thing, which is awesome. They also announced Homeworld Mobile, which is kind of a meme, but they were wise. They're learning, which is something I didn't think Randy Pitchford was actually capable of, but he's doing it. So Homeworld 3 was announced first. Good move. I'm really hyped for that. Probably make a video about that at some point. Other news is that Jaraci Cup 13 is underway right now. Hashtag not behind, it's just a lifestyle, but it's actually being funded. There's a $100 prize pool for Jaraci Cup 13, which is awesome because I have a chance of winning. The donor wanted to remain anonymous, so he doesn't want me to tell you who he is, but big thanks to him if you figure it out, I guess. Or if he ever decides to... Well, you know, just big thanks to him. You don't need to know who he is to be happy. Beyond that, I did want to announce I'm not going to be casting group stages or lower brackets from now on, starting at Jaraci Cup 13. That's just because I'm a little bit too busy. But that doesn't mean I can't cast him for Jaraci Cup 2, so here we go. Procyon here down in South playing as the Galzian versus Drdooms playing as Coalition, committing eco-suicide. That's always nice to see. Let me just check the little notes.txt document which I've got here. Info.txt, that is. Oh, lightning. So it looks like it was Dooms picked first as Galzian, or sorry, as Coalition, and then Procyon picking Galzian. Dooms picks the Shallows. I think that's actually a really good map for Coalition, although this is not usually the strategy I would recommend that they do. This is the strategy that you lose with. What I'm saying, of course, is what you ought to do is make a support cruiser first if you're going to move the carrier off here. This is no good. Meanwhile, for Procyon here, not sure what he's going for yet. Fleet capacity is up already. He's out with a couple Sandskimmers, so it looks like he wants to be a little bit aggressive here. He's going to have a couple of LAVs to chew on if he wants to. This is a very easy run up here. I say that because his opponent was not like reacting, so normally you'd want to, like, once he saw the Sandskimmers there, kind of keep your distance and keep them together. It's not going to be the case, and I think Drdooms will lose these LAVs here, so that's going to be a little bit unfortunate. He's got his base runner in tow, could put down a turret if he needs to, like, get some defense up here, but I think he really ought to just fall back to the carrier, and the carrier really ought to just fall back to the main. I'll keep saying it until it happens, I'm sorry. But personally, I'm playing a bit of a slow game myself, just massing up a bunch of Sandskimmers. Doesn't want to commit to, like, refinery tech or some kind of a tech choice just yet. Looks like, actually, in fact, some Sandskimmer upgrade is going to come out first. Check the resources tab here. No sign Drdooms is going up to support cruiser. Still at only 150 CUs. Base runner going to go down here now. Carrier moving even further forward. And he's got the range on. You actually, as a Coalition, need to get powers of 1 if you're going to have power and range, because his base 1, like, PD is really bad for some reason. It's just, yeah. It's kind of a meme. Oh well, rating is going to finish. Wait a second, we're playing in patch? So that's not true. So I've been playing so much vanilla, and no, in patch the Coalition carrier is actually decent even at power 0, which is good, because they've always, like, they're very good at defending, except for certain things they just can't do, because their carrier has, like, just does not have the capability to fight at power 0. But now it does, which is cool. I think the Galzian one is still better, but yeah, you can see actually the rate of fire in the tooltip there. Big thanks, A-Game, by the way. This is not a thing in vanilla. You can't see, like, what its rate of fire is and stuff. But here it'll tell you, like, on the Galzian it's going to be 9 at power 0, and on the Coalition it's going to be 7. So, starting to see salvagers go down here. That's no surprise. There is no defense here at all for Drdooms. This guy's just like, no, don't worry about me. I'm just a patsy. He lives with 50 HP. That's funny. You can understand how that happened, though. Of course, you can't see his health bar, right? So, I mean, it's like, it's sometimes tricky to figure out that you've nearly killed a salvager. I just knew because I could see, yeah, there he is. I could just see him attacking the guy, so I knew that he was getting damaged, but, you know, you couldn't actually, like, see his health bar. But Procyon just wiping the field now with just these Sandskimmers. He doesn't really need anything else at this point. Tech choice finally comes out for Drdooms. It is the logical one, AAV fabrication, but it's going to be a whiles away. These sand skimmers ought to clean up pretty much everything during the... Oh, he's spending CUs here. He actually shouldn't do that because he's going to need to have them for AVs to be able to come out. I don't know, it's just a bad situation. I have a feeling this game's kind of already over. Because I don't know how much time I have, I'm even going to fast forward just a little bit. AV Fab kind of about to finish here, but the sand skimmers are going to come in again first, and there are a lot of them. It's 19 sand skimmers, so they're just doing their best to kill the carrier right now. I wouldn't recommend that usually. They're being microed and stuff too, just not like... Yeah, so you don't want to attack the carrier with the sand skimmers because see how much damage they've done so far. Yeah, but here he's got the right idea. So he's just taking down this AV. He has damage 1 actually already finished. So that'll go down pretty quick. Salvager's going to follow. Yeah, I mean he can really just even hit the hold ground command if he wants. You know, he's gonna mop all this up. Carrier is moving out. Okay, I mean that's fair. He does have, you know, the he has the game, I guess, right? But I don't know. You don't need to do that. You just like make heavy railguns from your production cruiser. I know you've got the tech, so just make those guys. They will definitely take care of the carrier for you. And also, if you are going to move out, you should probably power up the speed, but that's okay. Base Burner moving out here to grab that artifact. He's already got 2, which is nice. You can see he's been active with Base Burner, which is always good. But yeah, Dr. Doom's here, just like, I am going to win this game. Moving out there with his carrier. Sand Skimmer's doing their best, you know, but like I said, that carrier not going to take too much damage. They've managed to get 2,000 health off of it so far. This guy will do that much damage in like 5 shots. Power 1 seems to finish for Dr. Dooms, by the way. He doesn't have enough, as much power as this Galzian carrier. There are railguns and stuff, so this is obviously going to be game over. And that ought to be the end of Dr. Dooms. So that was Dr. Doom's map pick? Yes, it was. So Procyon's going to have the map pick next time, but it looks like they stay the same faction, so he picks Galzian, Dr. Doom's picks Coalition. Let's go ahead and load this game up. Oh yeah, I forgot another spicy announcement. I want to talk about that one. Anyway, Procyon is going to pick the Boneyards. That will be our game 2. Let's load it up here. Yeah, spicy announcement number 2 is Magpie is back, boys. We have spicy DOK once again, which is awesome. And he and I are going to do some co-casting at some point for sure. We're getting some plans for like the 24-hour live stream, so we'll probably, like, he'll be part of that. But Last Rites is around too, and we're going to do some co-casting as well to finish off Jaraci Cup 2, so that's going to be pretty cool. Obviously not joining me right now. He would have been remarkably silent if he was, but... but yeah, these are all things I'm really looking forward to. Obviously, because Magpie, I just love watching his videos. So to actually be a part of them is going to be like something different, you know what I mean? And who doesn't love some Magpie DOK too, you know? Oh man, I keep watching his Company of Heroes 2 videos even though I don't play the game just because they're so fun to watch, you know? Super excited for that. I don't know, I really just feel like people are coming out of the woodwork with this announcement of Homeworld 3, you know what I mean? Like, they exist again, they're back. And that, you know, that really excites me, so. It's kind of like the Beast said in Cataclysm, you know? We live! Yeah, like that. So here's something interesting. I alt-tab quite a lot, actually. That's what happens when you see like the health bars disappearing, is I'm alt-tabbing to check something. If I alt-tab, I'm looking at the window right now where it has OBS Studio, and I'm doing that so that I can see if anyone's like chatting in the stream or whatever. I'll type yo, for example. Yeah, there it is. It showed up in the chat. But anyway, I can see that the game is still playing in OBS Studio, so I can see that in the window there. But then when I go back into the game, for a second it shows me the frame like way before. And I've wondered, like, is that showing up in videos? And it's not. Like, I've watched through to see if it shows up in videos, and it doesn't. It's like, what's going on here? What is this video magic that I'm seeing? I think maybe Yeah, I don't know. I have no clue. I don't know how these things work. I imagine I'll learn someday. But I don't know yet. Well, looks like a pretty similar game so far. So we got some LAV spam coming out from drdooms. We've got the sand skimmers coming out for Procyon. Scanner gets picked off there, which is kind of a nice pickup there for drdooms. And he knows about these sand skimmers this time. So last time he just kind of got spanked by them. This time his micro is definitely better, but he's kind of getting awkwardly blocked by this line of sight blocker, and the sand skimmers are up on top of him. This guy could have been microed back. Does not make it out. So it looks like Procyon actually kind of backs out of that one. He wanted to just take the one guy and pull him back, just the one. And then these guys could continue the chase. He probably could have killed this one too. But drdooms going to push here, actually, into the high ground. I'm not a fan of this, especially because there's a way you can play around with this Doom here to stop the LAVs from exploiting their range. But not only that, he's pushing into the high ground there, so this is definitely not a good push. Raiding is on its way. You can see the focus fire is not terribly good either for drdooms. You always want to be attacking the same unit. But just by virtue of having the numbers, he is kind of like storming his way through this one, kind of. Not trading efficiently at all. If you check the units lost here. It's not as bad as I thought, but it still isn't great. Base burner heal could be used here, that'd be a little nifty, but it's not going to be necessary. These sand skimmers are on high ground, they take out another guy. Yeah, and it looks like these LAVs kind of on full route again, but they do have some reinforcements in the background, so Procyon going to not want to be too ambitious, just kind of back away here, and again, this is a moment where base burner heal could be used quite nicely. It kind of makes it impossible for your opponent to chase you up that hill. After all, it's the only reason to play Galazine instead of Conf. You might as well use it. Oops, turn off our health bars there. But yeah, trades still definitely going Procyon's way. This is just, it's a tricky thing to micro, and you can tell Procyon kind of has the upper hand in that regard. Woo! Don't do that. What you should do instead, here, I'll give you a tip. So if you cancel these four, you're not actually losing anything for production, right? Because they won't be able to be produced till that one is finished that's on the queue first. And you'd have the money for a second production cruiser, right? And so that would mean that you could actually make a second production cruiser and then have double the skimmer fabrication for no extra cost, really. Like, you don't lose anything for that, you know what I mean? Armor 1 is finished on these skimmers too, as well as rating, and damage 1 is on the way. So they definitely have this fight if they want to take it. Especially if drdooms pushes again, but you can also use this line of sight blocker to close the distance. And once you move here, you're going to force them back, because if they stay there, you're just going to jump on them, and then, you know, you have that fight. You have the numbers, I think. It's 10 to 10, yeah. And you also have the upgrade advantage, so you definitely can take this, or at least you can gain the ground by kind of like pushing up to right there. And then your opponent has to leave, or else he's going to be killed. Kind of a weird switcheroo going on over here, so going to leave the main base open. Perhaps because he has an AAV, he feels safe. To be fair, he's actually got 2. But, I don't know. Seems a little risky, but these LAVs can get a lot done in the background, so we'll have to see how that goes. Production upgrade's on its way now. First AV is going to go down here, so he can actually smoke himself. I doubt he's going to, but that'd be a kind of nice trick, because you buy a bunch of time. You can even get him back and get him, like, healing up and stuff. The thing about AAVs, right, is that they counter Strikecraft, but not in the way that you're expecting, where it's like, oh, I have AAVs, you can't push me anymore, ha! It's more like, well, you shouldn't if I have enough of them, but if I only have, like, 1 or 2, you can actually take that fight, that's okay. That's kind of what we're seeing here. So I think, like, 2 sand skimmers went down for 2 AAVs, which, if you just look at the cost, that's obviously worth it. Real Fab finishing now for Procyon. He is going to be pressured on his main, though, so this would be a good time. Oh, no, he doesn't need Power Reserve 1. He's actually got an artifact, but it's definitely high time to power up that carrier. I'm just not sure if he's aware of it. Oh, yeah, he's aware, and he powers it up. Good, okay. One nice trick is actually to, like, turn the carrier so that it's facing with the back end toward the enemy, because that's where your missile launcher is. It's right there, that thing. And so, yeah, you can hit your enemy a lot easier, I guess. Like, you don't need to be as close to them. But the best thing to do is don't do this. You know, that should be a quote of mine. You want to get back there. Yeah, okay, so that you're not, you know, committing eco-suicide again. But the sand skimmers have gotten on top of these LAVs, which is really good. They are all going to go down, so they just barely overstayed their welcome. This, however, is a good mass of AAVs. This is going to stop the Sandskimmer aggression, I think, but they need to probably play defensive. Dr. Doom's still trying to take the field here without really having any of the chips, you know what I mean? So, not going to have much success there, but this production cruiser really needs to back away. I mean, he knows about it. He's going to choose not to chase, though. But this is something you really should. Yeah, okay, he is going to chase it. Thing is, these guys are faster than a production cruiser, and they will kill it. Sandskimmers, I think, are going to have to get involved into this one, which is not where you want them to be. Although railgun fabrication is finished, but it's a heavy railgun coming out, which I don't think is the best choice. I'm going to say that because I think that, was it cancelled? No, it just came out. Well, it's actually going to be okay, perhaps, but I say it's not the best choice because they're slow, and if they get caught, they're more expensive, too. And their DPS is actually not better when you get to close range. Dr. Doom's going to use smoke, but he chooses not to engage. It's perhaps wise. Once you know your opponent's got railguns, you know, you can just kind of back away there. But again, eco-suicide getting committed here. Oh, you hate to see it. Two-word support cruiser, that's definitely what you need here. Not going to get very far without that. So, I mean, Dr. Dooms is actually... Yes! Good. Okay. I mean, you probably ought to wait until it's out, but excellent. I'm a fan of that. I'm a fan of two-base economy. Procyon, in this case, actually falling behind slightly because he doesn't have refiner mode, but he does have kind of the counter to all the units from his opponent here. And you can see him actually just kind of brutalizing this AAV. I mean, he can do that. Got the hill there to kind of play with the dunes and avoid damage, or get high ground if he wants it. He's actually just going to commit in. I don't like that. Probably ought to just back away. Loses one Sandskimmer for his overzealousness. Probably a second here. You've got to imagine this guy is dead. But the railguns are in position now, so this is a lot of AAVs. They can smoke, they can try to close the distance, but this is the counter unit. You're going to have trouble getting too much value out of those AAVs if you can't get up there. There is a serious danger then on the board that Dr. Dooms really could kind of lose it all right here, and that could be the end of the game. Refiner mode going to come out for Procyon, that's probably wise. I think he could have been getting that earlier, in fact. But he does pick up a third artifact, which is good. So, he's definitely got a lot going for him. I still think he's pretty far ahead in this game just because his army is very scary. These are upgraded Sandskimmers with armor of 1, damage 1. And he's got rails, which are the counter to those AAVs. So we need to see some kind of a tech choice out of Dr. Dooms. He can't just sit on AAVs here. Rails would be fine. Fighter and gunship would be fine. It's going to be rail fab. That's good. A little bit late, though. The other thing that these Sandskimmers can do is try to look for counterplay. Like, okay, you can't just fight these AAVs with the Sandskimmer blob, but maybe he's weak somewhere else, right? Like over here. So, you know, just kind of be moving around, trying to figure out where you can get to your opponent. Oh, I see. He wants to mobilize his carrier. Okay. Not the biggest fan of that, but I have a feeling it'll actually work. AV's going to make a bit more of a committed push here. Lots of smoke out there. Smoke rails every day. Production cruiser. Oh no, eco-suicide. Again, you gotta just be on the base. I can't prove this to you, I don't think. But I'm sure if you do the math, it'll turn out to be true. That if you're on the base, you actually win for, like, mining time because your units don't have to turn around. So you don't want them between the bases, you want them on one of the bases. I'm like 89% sure, okay? So... Wrench calibration coming out, which is actually a pretty spicy tech. We do not see that very often, so... I always like seeing range calibration. Had a crazy game with Sparrow just the other day where I was like... I don't know how to explain this. I was this player, and I was camping that hill because he was on my main, but I was on these two bases. It was a ridiculous game, but I got range calibration, and I discovered that a railgun here can shoot all the way to that mineral patch. Like, it's crazy long range, so... It is a cool tech, it just doesn't often get used. This is a case where you wouldn't want to use it, of course, but he doesn't have it on, so that's fine. He might think it's actually just a straight upgrade, though. It is in fact an ability, but it's a really cool one. Ouch. Yeah, there must just be a lot more railguns here than there were before, because those AAVs just, like, melted, and they don't have smoke, so they're just all going to go down. So, army for Dr. Dooms really gets kind of wiped there. Still no rails on the field. He is teching fighter and gunship, but it's going to be a while. Now this would be a time to use range calibration, because you could shoot this distance. And you could probably shoot this distance now regardless. But you could have hit, you know, from where you are, like, down to there. It's crazy. They have a really long range with range calibration. Turns them into, like, some kind of siege unit, you know? It's crazy. Something we don't usually see from Gaussian, but it's a cool idea. Kind of like the idea of setting up, like, a hard point and then using that to fight. Dr. Doom's gonna employ the classic smoke and technique here, which makes you very difficult to kill, but it's not going to get him ahead in this game here. And in fact, this Gaussian carry, you just don't even care, because of course, you know, it's just AAVs here, so just going to slide on in there. And he will have a good time. That carry should go down next volley, right? Maybe one more missile. And that will be the end of Dr. Doom's. Procyon wins 2-0. Nice job, nice job. Hope the players learned something from it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll catch you next time. I am back, by the way. I didn't disappear. So, don't worry. More casts are coming soon. See ya.